Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Hanuji Akbar, and you can call me Uche. And I am from Cibiyai 1. My ID number is 2019-6006. How are you today? I think you are fine. Now, I would like to explain about translation in a book, Translation Theory before the 20th century. This book is so good that I see and I read last night. It's so good. And now I just want to explain in the chapter 2. In the chapter 2, all there are so many kind that there are in there, and now from the key concept, and the first the word forward literal versus sense for sense of free debate. That is explain about word for word. It means translation that from word for word. And sense for sense. It's meant a free debate, and then debate. Okay. And the second, there is the importance of translation or sacred text. In this key concept, the important explain about what or how important of translation sacred. Now we become translator is what important. Okay, and this the third is the vitalization or the vernacular. That is Latin and the German Bible. And the next is the influence of Dryden and the trade of metapraise or praise and imitation. There is in there are the explaining or the describing of metapraise and praise and imitation. Okay, and next there is a term at more systematic prescriptive approach from the led and title. And then the next claim major a separate language of translation and respect for the foreigners. And the keynote concept. And the last is the recurrence of the earlier term used to describe translation. Okay. From the first theme of this chapter is not to attempt and comprehensive history of translation or translator through the ages. this could beyond the scope of uh, any book, instead the main follows its the central recurring theme of word for word and scene for scene. It means in this chapter we will uh, get explaining about the more explaining about for word and scene for scene to we translation. Now and then debate that demonstrate much of translator theory in what new work. Okay, maybe in the focuses of this book, we can translate uh, some book from or some sentences from word for word or sentence for sentence. Then there are three that I say to you last time about the influence of Dryden and the triad of press and imitation. Okay, maybe you must know about that. That is metapress, word by word. Metapress, word by word, line by line, translation which correspond to literal translation. It means if metapress, this is word by word, line by line. We translate carefully and which respond the literal. It means response of uh, word by word and sentence for sentence. We translate bigotly and then prepress is like we know, but prepress we get the some sentences and we directly to make edit for the sentences to make prepress like maybe the translation with latitude where the outdoors is kept in view by the translator so as never to be lost. So never to be lost the translation, but his words are not so strictly followed as his sense. This involves changing word phrases in more or less correspond to faithful or sense for sense translation. Uh, then the the next is imitation. Imitation for shaking both word and sense. You know imitate from tiru. Imitate. We imitate the translation from the other one. Maybe for taking both word and sense, this correspond to coalesce, to chalice, very free translator, and is more or less what today might be understood as adaptation. Okay, yeah, I will like this that I can explain to you about in this book. It's so little, but inshallah manfaat. Okay, maybe just this that I can show you from pre-press, from meta-press and imitation. I hope you understood. Walaupun although my speaking is not good and my language is so bad. Maybe just this that I can say to you. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.